Actual Karen here. Okay, Boomer here. Today is probably, if you think about it, the greatest comeback in American history, Donald Trump said. But it's not going to stop here, it's going to keep going. He's talking about the number of people willing to throw caution to the wind with no mandatory safety precautions and go back to work. The market went up 800 points, looking forward to not having to pay living wages or provide health care with big fat liability shields for the bosses. Health care is not a right, but a privilege for those who can afford it. During the 2016 campaign, I was working at a huge theater with a lot of really young new voters. Some of them didn't understand why I would rather eat dirt and die than vote for Donald Trump. He's a billionaire, really. He's smart. And he is a real newbie, not a swamp creature. Will run the government like one of his businesses, God forbid, which he regularly bankrupts to cheat on his taxes and also to bankrupt retirement funds of those who have invested in the Trump name. I've paid attention to the last 40 years and bragging about mistresses while he's still married to the mother of his children, calling himself smart for evading his fair share of taxes, refusing to rent to black people, comparing the Tet offensive to avoiding VD. He was a very brave soldier. And too many other things to mention is not my idea of qualifications for anything but a mafia slumlord. Had anyone suggested in the last 40 years he might become president, I would have laughed. Had anyone told me that evangelical Christians would call someone God's man in the White House who was a worse husband than Bill Clinton to 3 wives and even bragged about it non-stop, I would have said, there is no way. He was and is a walking, talking sermon on the opposite of Christ-like behavior. He was past 40 when he registered to vote the first time. Equal justice under the law must mean that every American receives equal treatment in every encounter with law enforcement, he said, regardless of race, color, gender, or creed. They have to receive fair treatment from law enforcement, Trump continued. They have to receive it. We all saw what happened last week. We can't let that happen. He'll just send in the best equipped military in the world on our own people, armed with plastic bottles and rocks. Then he decides to speak for George Floyd. Hopefully, George is looking down right now and saying, this is a great thing that's happening for our country. This is a great thing for him. It's a great day for everybody. This is a great day for everybody. This is a great, great day in terms of equality, says Donald Trump. Hopefully, George and Jesus are there together, wondering why tear gassing the least of these by the thousands and then walking over and posing with a Bible that isn't even his in front of a church when 1,923,896 of Trump's constituents, mostly elderly people of color, confirmed to have the virus, and 110,261 mostly elderly people of color are dead. Is the greatest comeback of anything? I assume George and the Jesus I was taught want someone in the GOP to stop this, but they won't.